Well, hello, good afternoon. Today is May, is it 17th or 18th? 18th. It's a Wednesday, and I'm giving you a week 25 update. Actually, I think I'm in week 26, if we're honest. The last video I showed you and I shared with you was at week 15. So, yeah, let's see. If there's 52 weeks in a year, and half a year, 6 months is 26 weeks. I'm at the 6 month mark. Whoa, quick math, that's me. Anyways, I just wanted to give you an update on how things are going. So the way that Ozempic and the dosing goes, especially the way that my doctor had me at, there was a point where I had to stall because the way that Ozempic is available with their injector pens and the way that my doctor did my dosing didn't match. So Ozempic has one injection pen that delivers, let's look here. It's 0.25 milligram dose or a 0.5 milligram dose. So this is one pen. This is like the pen you start with when you're very first starting with Ozempic. The next pen up delivers 1 milligram doses. And then the highest pen that they have available, which is hard to find, I've been told, is a 2 milligram pen. The way that the dosing is that my doctor wrote the prescription for was that there was a point where I got to 1.2 milligram dose. So technically I could have done a 1 milligram injection pen plus a 0.25 milligram injection pen. But I didn't speak up to her and tell her that because I didn't want to risk losing the ability to have the medication available to me. I know it's a stupid excuse, but I just didn't want to screw anything up with her prescribing the medication to me. Then, when it was time to jump up to the next dosing level, I think it was 1.5 milligrams, which was easy to do. And then after that, it was 1.7 milligrams. It's an increased or tapered increased dosing. And then maintenance, I think, is 2.4 milligrams. So 1.7 wasn't something I could do. 2.4 is not something I can do. And I believe the maintenance dose is 2.4 milligrams. So for 8 weeks straight, I sat at 1 milligram dosing per week. And during those 8 weeks, I saw no loss and no gain. So I'm still at approximately 26 pounds lost. I feel really good about that. I have not gained, so I feel good, but I have stalled out for the last 8 weeks. Now, during the last 8 weeks, there was about, I'd say 3 to 4 weeks where I have had back trouble. Completely unrelated to the medication of Ozempic, but my back will act up a couple times a year, and during the last 8 weeks, it acted up. So, unfortunately, I had to go to physical therapy and I had to try some pain medication. And then on top of that, I also took an oral steroid, which helped decrease my inflammation in my back. But the other side effect was that I was having some weight gain with that. So, all that being said, even though I was on that oral steroid, I didn't gain weight, but I wasn't losing. And I have been stalled out or plateaued for the past 8 weeks. Then I decided, okay, I'm just going to bite the bullet, send a message to my doctor, because technically I'm supposed to be at maintenance dosing, which is 2.4 milligrams, and I was just taking a 1 milligram dose each week. So you would think it'd be hard to, miss that if you're the provider and you're writing this script every month, and or not writing it every month, but you're supplying this script for this patient every month, but yet the dosing doesn't match the amount or the quantity of medication the patient's taking. So I had to bring it to my doctor's attention. I decided that, well, if I'm stalled out, I'm stalled out. I might as well, speak up and let the doctor know I'm not at my maintenance dose. So she said, no problem. So she wrote a script for, because it's increments of 0.25 or 0.5 or 1 or 2, she wrote the script for my maintenance dose to be, instead of 2.4, she upped it to 2.5. So that's going to be my maintenance dose going forward. So we did run into a little snag at the pharmacy. Pharmacy called me and asked, like, are you sure you want to go through with this? It's $865 to get the 2 milligram injection pen. And I was like, no, I don't feel comfortable with that. Let's not process that payment right now. So I called my doc, asked my doctor what we need to do to get that prescription lowered. And she just let me know that there was a prior authorization that was sent to my insurance company previously that should have covered the drug for what she had written down for my authorization. And so she just said that that needed to be reminded to the pharmacy. And they also called the insurance company to verify that. And yes, it's true, that was supposed to happen. And then so now I just today received the medication, and it was zero cost to me because I have excellent insurance. Thank you, Lord. And so I'm going to be giving myself my injection today. So I thought I would just share that with you because if you're having problems like I did with the dosing not matching with what's available in the pharmacy, then just talk to your doctor about it, because I'm sure that at the point when I was at the 1.2, I could have gotten the 1.25. And when I was at 1.5 or 1.7, I could have gotten either 1.5 or a 2 milligram injection. So just don't be afraid to speak up if something's not right. Most doctors and providers are willing to please the patient because we are the customer in the end. And again, I kind of thought, well, maybe my maintenance dose would be 1 milligrams, but because I thought it was, doing its job, but I knew that I could get more and that I should be getting more. So that's why I spoke up, and I'm glad I did. So again, last week was my first week taking a 2 milligram injection. This week will be my first week getting a 2.5 milligram injection. And I'm just going to kind of explain to you, because I was on an 8-week plateau for so long, I kind of got used to whatever the side effects were. And then when I jumped up to my 2 milligram injection last week, all of a sudden it was like a kickstart into my system again. And I'll share with you my side effects that were kind of brand new when I hit my close to my maintenance dose. And so it's kind of funny, yeah. So my maintenance dose now is going to be 2.5. When I took my 2 milligram injection last week, the side effects that I had was certain foods. Again, this is kind of repeat of when I first started Ozempic, but certain foods lost their flavor or lost their appeal to me, which I was okay with and happy with. I had forgotten about that side effect. And so throughout this whole week, this past week, I would make myself a meal, or I would cook something, or I would start nibbling on it, and I was like, ugh, this doesn't taste good at all. Like it's not appealing to me, and so much so that I was like, why would I force myself to eat this if it doesn't taste good? And it was just specific things like, I made chili that wasn't so good. I had made like a hot dish with like hamburger and noodles, and I was like, that doesn't taste so good. But you know what does taste good? I'll tell you. One of my favorites is an apple and chunky peanut butter. That tastes good to me. So I had that for meals. I've been eating salads for meals. Of course, somehow I still have a flavor for chocolate, or I'm willing to bypass if there is a yuck feeling or a taste to that. I still eat it, and I should just stop. But I do love sugar, and so I still have a love for sugar. But let's see, one of the other side effects is gas. So I am gassy, flatulence, whether it's burping or passing gas, like farting. I am noticing that there is gas production there. I do remember that being one of my first side effect feelings. So when I first started taking Ozempic, so I'm noticing that. Feeling full. My body with processing stool or passing stool is about the same as it always was. I do hang out on the other side of the spectrum with having constipation. And so taking this medication, each week, I'm just more constipated or backed up than normal. So I'm trying to, encourage my body to pass stool by eating, fiber and the fruits and veggies and the roughage and things like that to help encourage my body to do what it's supposed to do. And then on top of that, I do take a stool softener once a day just to kind of help. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it's okay to do that. Let me think, what else? I don't know. I think it's so funny because, like, if a meal sounds good to me, I'll start eating it. But then, like I said, it could be maybe 2 or 3 bites in, it could be 5 or 10 bites in, but all of a sudden I'm just like, I'm not hungry anymore. Like, the idea or crave, the desire to eat a meal gets, satisfied quicker, and I feel good, and like, there's no need to continue eating. And I definitely eat like that, small amounts, small portions, multiple times through the day. So it's not like I'm not getting enough nutrients or vegetables or minerals or vitamins or, anything like that. I'm eating plenty, but it's just small, snacky type meals through the day. I think it would be impossible. I won't say impossible. I think it would be very difficult for me to sit down and eat a full plate of food right now. Now, don't get me wrong. I think I still could go to McDonald's and order a meal and eat that. But a home cooked meal where the portions are just bigger, or, dependent on who's serving those portions, I don't think I could eat that full meal. And I'm okay with, in my life, passing that up and not eating a full meal. So let me think here. I feel good. My body, I feel good. I feel like I look cute in my clothes. I feel like, all of the reasons that I've wanted to be losing weight are apparent and there and available for me. I know, like, we have heart disease that runs in my family, and so, anything that I can do to help better myself and better my chance at a longer life, and a healthier life, I'm going to do it. And I think this Ozempic is a great tool, and just a great option to be able to have weight loss success, and then to keep that success going forward, and not backsliding and not gaining. And it's a once a week injection, and I am okay with being on this injection for life, just because it's helped me, and it's a great tool. And so, yeah, just thought I'd give you a nice update on how things are going. I hope things are going okay for you. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and cut this video now to me actually giving the injection into my abdomen. I still use my abdomen as the primary location of where I give my injections. And so, yeah, without further ado, let's get going.